everyone, today I'm going to be talking about history. Today we're going to talk about a man named James Armistead. So, he was, now let's talk about when he was a slave to a spy. As the War for Independence started, fought bravely, James Armistead listened eagerly. So, and carefully, anyway, of any news that he could hear about the war. And Virginia was his home, his hometown actually. And so, James Armistead wanted to defeat the British. So, that time, America was fighting against British. So, he wanted the Americans to win. So he asked its master, William Armistead. He asked if he could leave and then asked permission to go to the war and fight for our freedom in America. Well, his master did give him permission to leave and fight. Well, when he got there, he found a French officer who taught him to be a double spy. So, his name was Marquis de Lafayette. Well, this is a very hard name, but I remember from memory. Yeah, I have learned before. It was really like a tongue twist. Marquis de Lafayette. So he was the commander of the French troops, who had come to help the Americans with the freedom from the British. Wow, French was really helping the Americans. Yeah, and the British were never helping Americans because they fought a war. So did you know that James Armistead's job was to collect correct information about the British? And send back, and then they quietly sent back to the American again, to the American. So did you know that James Armistead's job was to collect information about the plans of the British to take that information back to Lafayette? So it was his French officer. So then the newest spy in the English camp of Benedict Arnold and the General Cornwallis. Benedict Arnold was a traitor to America. Now, did you know what traitor means? Traitor means someone who gives help or information to an enemy country. So he had been a general in the American Army, but had changed size and now worked for the British Army. Well, it probably didn't change very much. He'd been in the American Army, but then he switched and then helped the British Army. Probably the Americans were very poor as heck. So James Armistead bravely and went to him first. He said just like this. It was just a spy would say, but we never say it to a real one. So he said, I have run away from my master in Virginia. Now I will help in the British. And then the Benedict Arnold says, good. And then, you know what's happened? Benedict Arnold knew that James Armistead will make a very good people that will help the British. Yeah, he already knew that when he sent him the Benedict Arnold already knew he would make a good person So then he said, "Good, I'll put you right into work." And so he started. You know what he started to learn? Well, he believed that James Armistead would use him as a guide for the British troops through the local road of Virginia. So James Armistead also worked for Benedict British General Cornwallis, so who paid him go to American troops and spy on them. Did you know that? I'll tell you this. James Armistead was really from the American troops. But you know, then the General Cornwallis didn't know that he was from it. And so he sent it to the British. And he sent it to the American troops to look for him, to spy on the American troops for a little moment. So, well, actually, I think that he was telling half of them. What did he learn about the British? Well, I think so, but not just really. So now, did you know that the James Armistead was the first African American double spy? Well, that's a very tongue twist name. Because he was probably his skin was brown, and they called him African and American. He lived in America. Virginia is in America. So as you know, he was taught as a spy. He was taught to be a double spy. Well, he taught from the British and then to American. So he was said that he should take correct information, but he also gave false information about American plans. Yeah, because you know we don't want our country to lose in the battle. Well, I was in Vietnam. I really don't like to be defeated. But as you know, did you know our country was old? Yeah. So, I don't think my country didn't know how to do this, but I would like to be spied just a little bit. So, let's talk about freedom for America. Well, for James Armistead, correct information. Then you know, his country, well, America, became win the Battle of Yorktown. Well, it's not in New York, and it's a town. No. So the British Army surrendered on October 19, 1781. So America had won its independence. Well, because of James Armistead, his country was able to win. Without James Armistead helping, America would never win. They will never win the battle, and America will be defeated. So let's talk about freedom for James Armistead. So after the war, James Armistead returned to his master in Virginia. So slaves who had fought in the battle were given their freedom, but not James Armistead. When he got back, when he did not fight, he served as a spy. He wrote to the Virginia lawmakers asking for his freedom, but they did not agree with his request. So Lafayette helped him write a letter told that James Armistead brave service helped America to be free. So the state of Virginia finally let James Armistead be granted his freedom. Because he admired and appreciated what Lafayette had done for him, he took Lafayette as his last name. Well, his name was written like this: James Armistead Lafayette. I really like to say the name of the French officer, Marquis de Lafayette. So you're gonna read on top page 150, and then you can do the comprehension check, but no peeking. So next time we're gonna talk about Thomas Jefferson and how he loved to take notes. He loved to take notes. He invented many things. Yeah, really, I told you the truth. He was one of the founding fathers. My mother said that some of the founding fathers was written on monies, like George Washington, yeah, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and other sums. So I'll see you in my next lesson. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.